Such a dramatic intro.
I was waiting for that one.
I thought he was going to hit on record. It's like, well, there goes 5 seconds of my life.
Well, hello, and welcome to Entertain This, a podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. My name is Hayden. With me, I have Mitch.
Hello.
And Tam.
Hi, Tom.
Today, we're going to be doing some trivia, Jeopardy style, where the two fates will duel to see who's the best. I have a menagerie of categories that we'll cover in a minute.
All I saw was Lord of the Rings. I didn't see what any of the other ones were.
I sent it to you guys. So.
Because I did Jeopardy trivia.
Hayden's
Hayden has to do
like-
it. Show me how to do it better. That's what he has
Yeah,
to
this,
do.
this is better
I
trivia.
thought it was a
I'm
good-
Hayden. This is better.
I thought it
better
was a good
trivia.
idea. So
I'm doing it. It's going to be better.
We said it was a good idea.
Your idea was stupid.
It's not a competition. God.
But mine's better.
But mine's just going to be better. It just is what it is, Hayden.
No, you had a little chart and everything. I just had a spreadsheet.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, moving on. We're also going to do our top 10 video game, I guess we're calling them busts.
Yeah.
Games that we thought marketed really well and then had zero follow through. So I have a list. I'm sure you guys have a list, right, Tom?
We do.
Yes.
Oh, look at you. All right, cool. But
I just got to look through the scratch out parts from last week.
so let's kick it off with social media. Mitch.
Well,
You can go to entertainthispodcast.com, which will take you to our Facebook group and page. You can also go to our Twitter, which is @thisentertain, our Instagram, which is entertain.this. You also go to our TikTok and our YouTube, which is entertain_this!
we need to
Okay.
get like when Mitch says like, well, we need like different wells. Like, well. It's like, well.
All right. So for my number one video game. Oh, there we go.
Gotta have the presentation.
Yes, now the audience knows what we're doing. Thanks, Mitch. All right, so my number one game that marketed really well and then did not have good follow through on launch was Cyberpunk.
That's my number one.
No, I mean it still made a lot of sales and it still has a really good fan base. It's fixed a lot of the problems and it's got a DLC coming out that's gonna like.
You made me buy this game. I spent $80.
Did you?
Yes.
Why?
Because you were like, oh, Cyberpunk 27. Go back, 2 years?
Why did you spend $80
For the game.
The game was $60.
Yeah.
For like the launch edition one that had like extra stuff.
Oh, that's your fault.
Well,
No, because how long did he go on and on about Cyberpunk 2077?
For a long time, but I wasn't going to buy extra.
And he was like, Cyberpunk.
well, anyways,
Cyan, death threat, whatever it was.
It had a bad launch, but it's come a long way. Kind of like No Man's Sky, which is also on my list.
I forgot about No Man's Sky.
And the DLC that comes out looks really promising. They're finally implementing game features that they were marketing since like before day one, like I don't know, vehicle combat and stuff like that. So they're also redoing the entire skill tree, things that make sense. If you want to change the stats of your character, it's all about like the augmentations and not about what cool jacket you're wearing or whatever.
All I cared about was the jacket.
Well,
I bought the game for the jacket.
you can still get the jacket, but now like if you want to stab better, you get better blades in your arms and not whatever. So there you go. That was my number one. Mitch.
My number 10 on the back end of the list.
10. Okay, number 10. That was my number 10.
I was looking forward to this game because it sounded interesting because I like Smash Brothers, but the Multiverse of Mayhem, the DC.
Oh yeah,
It was interesting because you're going to be like Shaggy and Gandalf, Batman.
that sounds so stupid.
The game isn't even like they don't
Why
even.
would any of them be there?
It's been completely taken off. Like you can't even play it anymore. And
Right.
they've like what didn't they like stop production? Like they're not going to make it now.
Good.
Well,
And people have spent money on it though,
Ooh, I'd be mad.
on a beta.
well,
That's what you get.
that's Warner Brothers for you.
Yes, it is.
Warner Brothers saw Smash Brothers and like, we can do that.
And then they really realized they shouldn't have.
It'd have been fun to play, just because it's easier to play online with people on Xbox or PlayStation. So, but
Yeah.
now that game's just gone completely.
That does stink. Kind of like Anthem's gone
Yeah.
entirely, and people that would have been a good one for the list. I didn't put it on this.
I forgot about Anthem
It's
too.
on my list.
Oh, is it? Okay. Tom,
Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
I do have a Call of Duty game, but I'll wait till
I have several. I have some personal vendettas against some of these games.
All right,
Because Black Ops 3 came after Black Ops 2, which was one of the best Call of Duties ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could argue it is the best Call of Duty
Okay.
versus Modern Warfare 2. The original.
Mm.
Not the current.
Okay.
Black Ops 2 had a really cool future mix and, like, a different kind of campaign.
You
Where,
go
like,
running along walls.
not in Black Ops 2.
Oh, no, 2. I thought you said 3.
2 was, like, they hit that future,
Yeah.
like, modern, like, bridge
They were
really,
basically
really
using stuff
well.
that we just don't know that they have for real yet.
Like, a lot of stuff, like, made sense.
Well, they had like explosive drones. You just throw it up in the air and it finds a spot,
Okay.
blows up.
Yeah, there was like it was plausible stuff.
Yeah.
And then Black Ops 3 was like, you can run on walls, jetpacks, woo! And I was like, what is this? I don't want to play this. This game sucks.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was not good.
So was it just too far from like the source material, or was it just like not?
It was just
gameplay wise, it was just bad.
it was just not in the vein of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
It was just nonsense. It
I
was,
can agree. It's not.
I don't know what they wanted to try to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they wanted to bridge, like they wanted to go further down the future rabbit hole. But just the gameplay mechanics and how it worked out, I just did not like it.
What's the one with Jon Snow in it?
That's
Advanced Warfare.
No, that's not Advanced Warfare. That's the one with Kevin Spacey. Call of Duty Infinite.
Yeah,
Infinite. That's right.
Yeah, that was not a good one.
That's the one I have on my list, but I'll get to that later. All right, number 9, Avengers, the video game.
That's on my list too, but it's a little higher.
Yeah, like it looked kind of interesting. We were all kind of a little off put that they didn't have like the likeness of the Marvel.
Considering, it was like prime
Right.
territory. Yeah.
But then you do some research and digging, and then you find out that who was it? Square Enix. Square Enix didn't have the rights to like the movie versions of the games.
But they were working alongside Marvel to do it, so why would they wouldn't?
I don't know.
You just can't make any of them look like these actors.
And then the infamous word of loot boxes and pay to play and stuff like that got mixed into
The
there.
downfall of many a game.
Yeah, and then apparently it was just like a whole. I never once I saw that I just didn't have it any interest. But some people did play it.
I did,
and it did not go anywhere. And a lot of it was hidden behind paywalls for a game that you already paid money for.
Sounds like some EA nonsense.
Yeah, so
Looking at you, Battlefronts.
it tanked pretty bad. So meh. That's my number.
Meh.
Mitch.
My next number 9 is Redfall, the game that just came out recently.
Yeah.
I've played it, and it's okay to play, but it's the one where like you're a team of people going after vampires in this open world kind of thing. But the only way to play online is if somebody else has the game and you invite them. You can't. There is no matchmaking, so you can't join anyone. So if they don't have the game and you physically send them an invite, they can't join you. So you're just playing by yourself.
That's dumb.
It really is. So and it was cartoony graphics and stuff. So it wasn't as bad to play as far as like the gameplay. But I bought it, it's on Xbox Game Pass. I downloaded it so that I could play with other people, and it's basically unplayable with anybody else unless they're on your friends list.
Why is multiplayer becoming so complicated today? Like it used to be so.
It was not complicated 10 years ago.
Yeah, now it's like everything's such a pain.
Yeah, and because of that, I've just pretty much deleted the game off the Xbox. I was like, I don't even care to play now.
Because now it's like matchmaking such a struggle, but like back in the day when you got home from high school and you fired up your 360 to play Modern Warfare 2 or 3 or 1, and you just jump right into a lobby of 12 other people and you're just like, your mother's a slut for money. And now it's like you have to have different audio settings just to hear other people. Yeah. And if you do it, the audio setting just to hear your own party, the game crashes.
Yeah.
Well, that like used to, we would get paired up with all people from all over the world. Now you're like segmented into
server zones.
Server. Yeah.
Yeah.
We play with South America a lot. Just saying.
My Spanish has been getting progressively better, though.
I've learned all the cuss words, that's for sure.
I definitely know when people are upset and how to say it in Spanish.
What's your number 9, Tom?
My number 9, after my phone turns back on because it just turned off, it is Halo Infinite.
Yep, that's my...
It's on my list, too.
Is it Halo Infinity or
Infinite?
Okay.
Halo Infinite.
All right, yeah, that's my number 6.
Because this was after, Reach, ODST. This was, like, the first one where, like, we're pretty much... It was pretty much back to Master Chief. Like, they were like, yeah, it's Master Chief only.
Yeah.
like storyline stuff.
The story wasn't terrible.
I thought the campaign wasn't even available at launch, was it?
No.
No, what?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like you only got like some multiplayer maps. Like you just do multiplayer. You couldn't do Forge
Right.
or any like the big battles that they had promised. It was like, oh, here's like 30% of the game,
Yeah, they pieced out parts of the game over time, and like I
which was
think,
dumb.
I think they just released Forge, and I don't even know if they've done co-op yet.
I don't think they've done co-op yet.
But when the campaign came out, it was okay. It was
The
all right.
campaign was fun, but it was
very short.
Yeah.
Very short. And it was like the first real open world Master Chief or Halo game, and it was just like
I don't think that game benefits from being open world.
It was pretty cool.
I don't
'cause
have a problem
you
with
could attack stuff how you wanted instead of having to follow a linear path. If you liked using a sniper rifle better, you could sit up on a mountain and snipe out the boss or the leaders, and then just go after the grunts or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that they had a good idea, but they just didn't develop it enough.
They didn't execute well.
Well, they needed to let that bun cook a little bit more in the oven. So, but that game.
Their
went through-
souffle was deflated.
They went through developmental hell, and they basically started from the ground up like a year or two before launch. So, yeah. My number, what was it?
7.
7 is Destiny.
Well, 8 actually.
Yeah, 8. My number 8.
Oh,
is-
8, sorry. Yeah.
Destiny 1.
Yeah.
That's my number 8.
Yeah, I felt like the game seemed like it was going to be a lot more than what it was, and it was fine when it came out because it still had the core kind of advertising concept. But
No, it didn't.
it did where you can, jump into a world with different people and share world shoot and stuff like that.
But you had to like lobby, you had to party and do
Yeah.
it. You couldn't just jump in like the way it was. And
It-
they showed us like 6-player squads running around, and then it became 3
Right.
into the fire teams.
It made it seem like it was going to be
Campaign was really, really
like
short.
like an MMO.
Multiplayer was not good.
I really like the first one. It's the second one when they just kept reintroducing the same things.
Right. They should have broadened the game appeal because, like, I don't know, Destiny over time is I mean, I guess it's gotten a little bit better, but it's not what the original concept is. So the follow through for that has even gotten.
And I haven't played it recently, but my cousin and some of his friends, that's pretty much the only game they play. He said even now it's almost unplayable because they've added so much stuff in that the servers can't handle it.
Really?
And they're so old that you constantly getting kicked or
And
disconnected.
these are just
from
the
stuff.
Destiny 2 servers.
Yeah.
Which
But
are what?
the game's
Almost
10 years old.
Is it really?
Yeah.
2 is?
Wow.
Just about.
I'm old.
Yeah, they
I know I don't look at Gandalf.
I saw a bunch of articles because a new one just came out, a new DLC.
This is the last DLC.
Or sorry, Destiny is 10 years old. Because
Destiny 2 is what?
probably
6?
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, anyways, this new DLC pissed off a lot of people for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. And I mean, Destiny's got a really dedicated fan base. Like usually games come out and like the players kind of chunk off about 30% every year. This Destiny has been pretty solid until recently. So I don't know. We'll see what they do for Destiny 3, but if it's more of the same, and I'm not going to pre-order anything, I'm just going to wait. If it's more of the same, then I'm not going to be playing it. So, yeah, there you go. That was my 7, Mitch.
8.
8.
Your 8,
That was my number 8.
My number 8 was the Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah.
I have that at number 2.
I was excited to play that, and then when
West
I heard
Virginia,
more about it, I was like, oh.
Mountain Mama.
I listened to y'all talking about playing it, and
Yeah.
I didn't even bother.
That was a good trailer. I was like super into that trailer and everything. And I like the idea of a Bethesda game that was purely intended for multiplayer, but it was like so far multiplayer that there was nothing to do. It was just basically build bases and kill mobs
That
or players.
one bad thing is like your base is still there for other people to destroy when you're not there.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of bad.
It's like I can't play 24/7 to defend my little homestead.
And there was no NPCs. There was no interaction with. And this is when it came out. I'm sure it's all different now, but like you basically went to vending machines to get quests, and the quests were like kill 13 whatever. You know,
Find 6 daisies.
you could kill other players, but why? You don't get anything for it.
Yeah.
You couldn't loot them for their stuff?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think you could.
And then you can essentially just team up with other people to kill harder monsters, but the kill loot, level up cycle was so fast, like there's no what is that dopamine kind of feeling that you get when you complete a quest, when you do something.
No accomplishment.
Yeah, you understood the formula too soon. In the
Unlike Destiny, where you took someone out, it was like, yeah, I got him.
game. Yeah. So
Especially if you did it during like patches where they were buffed.
Right. It was a pretty disappointing game. So I agree with you on that one. So now we're at 7?
Yes.
All right. Mine is Halo Infinite. All right. We already talked about that pretty good bit. So what do you got, Mitch?
You already talked about your 7?
No, I haven't talked about my number 7. What was your number 7?
My number 7 was the Resident Evil Umbrella Corps. Have y'all ever played that?
Nope.
I never even heard of that one.
Basically, it's like you're the SWAT members from Umbrella.
Okay.
And it was the way they described the game,
Like Rainbow Six.
it was supposed to be like Rainbow Six, but you have zombies and monsters in between, and it's, team versus team. And you could like throw like a special grenade that would attract the zombies towards the other players and things like that. And most of the time, it just came down to you and the other guys just shooting each other from rooftops. And
Well, zombies are just like clawing at the sides of the building. Like,
pretty much. I mean, that and they
That's
limited it.
stupid.
It was supposed to have like a kind of raid things you could do where 4 people could go through and just go into a bunker and take out stuff, and that didn't really pan out very well. The gameplay mechanics, it felt like maybe like Call of Duty 1 as far as like
Yeah, I heard
play
the
style, but it
gameplay
was
was really bad.
but it was all third person. So
Yeah,
it was just
I've
bad.
never been a huge fan of third-person shooters.
It was
Destiny, I think, did a good job, but
when it was coming out, it sounded really cool just because you
Destiny
could
is first-person.
use the whole like terrain and use the zombies against each other and stuff like that. It sounded cool just because you had that third threat element that wasn't person controlled.
Yeah.
But then when it came out, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sure people spent money for that. Were pretty upset about that. So, what did you have, Tom, for 7?
Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
As well, you should have. I was super excited because I was like, it's a well-known fact. I am quite the fan of the Lord of the Rings. This came out, and I was like, oh, it's probably like Star Wars Online, which was pretty decent.
They called it the potential WoW killer at some point, World of Warcraft killer before it came out.
Yeah.
The way it was marketing.
No. No.
Yeah. So could you explore all of Middle Earth?
I never even got that far. I had to watch YouTube videos how to figure out how to get out of the holding cell. I started the game in like Elder Scrolls fashion because it was like, oh, get this and talk to this person. I did that, and I still couldn't leave. And I'm like, what am I? I'm like watching playthroughs, and I was like, this is unplayable. And I figured it out, and it was like this like dopey quest like after another off the rip, and I was like, I don't want to play this.
Well, that's sad. I think that's a great, like, there's enough lore and
There's an
geography
obnoxious amount.
to like have a solid MMO out of it, but I don't know. Maybe the Tolkien estate's just being weird about it or something.
Probably.
So, all right, number
6.
I had Mario Party for the Switch, and let me explain why. All right.
Explain yourself.
So the game itself is not a bad game, but they market it in these trailers where you and some friends are playing, and you have a whole crowd of people, and they all have their controllers and whatnot. So we bought it for my family, and we all had our controllers. But come to find out, only 2 people per Switch can play.
Oh.
Mario Party is a 4-person
No.
to do.
Well, you can play with 2 people, but it's just
Who would want to play that?
I don't know.
Mario Party is like 4 and up.
Yeah, so you would think like, oh, if I get as many controllers as possible, I can have as many people on the one game. No, they want you to buy more Switches, more games, and that's how
Spend more money.
And there's no online thing either. So
No.
like, if you have a friend that plays somewhere in the world,
Switch Online is still dropping the ball.
yeah, it's terrible.
If they had like game chats and stuff like that, or like our Xbox has Xbox Party,
Yeah.
which always works.
yeah,
99% of the time, Xbox Party has not failed us,
right.
unless like horrendous thunderstorms and power outages.
Well, we've played the Nintendo Switch, and we've played
But-
games, and then used the
But
Xbox.
we had our Xboxes on at the same time talking in Xbox Party chat.
Right.
If Nintendo had that feature, that would be a dangerous console
They're
to
gonna-
PlayStation and Microsoft. I imagine when they released a new console,
They're gonna have to.
they're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like the novelty, the Wii was novel, but it didn't last very long. The Switch was very solid console because it was anything you wanted to between portable and TV.
That's how I got Pez, who's been on our show.
Yeah.
When I told him he was going to buy something else, or he's going to buy not the Series X, but the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "You have a Switch, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a Switch." And he's like, "Oh, why should I get that over this?" And I was like, "You could play Skyrim while you poop." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you don't have to be in the same room." I was like, "You could just pick it up. It's like a Game Boy. You can take it with you, and then you can put it back on the TV." And he's like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
And he, 38 minutes later, he
bought
texted
one.
me a picture of the box at GameStop.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool, but like, what's going to be the new novel. I don't know if they're.
It's going to be the episode of Black Mirror with the little thing like you put on your temple and you just like your eyes zone out to white and you're drooling on yourself.
I think it's time for Nintendo to crank out like an Xbox worthy console. You know, $600, whatever.
They've had like what 6 years?
The Switch has been out for a minute. Like it's
been at the 6 to also maybe 8 years.
I would be okay if Nintendo just put out a home console. Doesn't have to be where you can take it with you. Put out a home console with upgraded graphics.
Well, Nintendo's always been ahead of the curve for mobile gaming.
Yeah.
The only ones that got close to them was PlayStation with PSP.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine like playing Zelda on Unreal Engine 5 graphics?
Yeah. That would be awesome.
I saw somebody.
We'd never see him again.
Well, somebody modded a Super Nintendo like Mario game into Unreal Engine, and this guy's literally like walking straight down the path, jumping up, hitting the blocks, and you got the dark woods on the sides.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool looking.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know if Nintendo is going to go that route. They're going to probably try and reinvent some sort of new novelty wheel.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see. All right. What is
6?
6. What do you have, Mitch?
I have Assassin's Creed Unity.
Okay.
Have y'all ever played that one?
No.
Yeah, is that the fourth one, right? That's the one where you're in France during the French
I
Revolution.
think it's right after Black Flag. It's the one after that one. So maybe
It's not the French Revolution one?
Yeah.
That one wasn't.
It was advertised to where you could play up to 4 people and play these games. And you can, but it's like you have to play certain missions.
Oh.
You can't just go and free roam the city. And it's not really versus, but like it's you and the other team, whoever can assassinate the person first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was fun to play, but then the servers didn't hold up very well, so you got disconnected a lot.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it advertised that you could play with a friend, through the story and stuff, and you couldn't.
Well,
Pretty sure, like Ubisoft has always had server issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like all the multiplayers, like 'cause I played Brotherhood had one. They had a multiplayer, wasn't good. Assassin's Creed 3 had one. The multiplayer just wasn't good. Black Flags I think wasn't bad. Unity's was left a little bit to be desired.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's just the Unity. It just really disappointed because the big drawing point for me was I wanted to be able to play. Me and my cousin played games all the time at that time, and we both got it. And then we both realized at the same time you can't play with each other unless you're doing the one specific mission. So
But I don't want to do the one specific. I want to do the other mission.
I want to do the story. I mean, but
Time.
My number 6, Elder Scrolls Online, the original.
Yeah, that was kind of a letdown too.
It's gotten better from
I-
what I've been seeing. I mean, they've done a lot more DLC content, but the original release, the trailers looked awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to, like, Elder Scrolls Online. I was like, Skyrim, like, open world, like, World of Warcraft style. Hell yeah. I want to play that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to play it after I played it.
Yeah.
I returned it.
It's a
That's like one of 4 games I've ever, like, returned in my life.
it's a like very bare bones like boring MMO. Collect 12 flowers.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
It's very grindy.
Yeah.
The story and, like, faction choosing wasn't really good. The graphics were not great.
Yeah.
Actually, they were terrible.
I thought about getting it, and then I saw some bad reviews for it, so I never did.
From what I've been seeing, as far as, like, recent stuff, I kind of want to revisit it.
I tried it once, maybe a year after it came out, and I was still disappointed. I don't know what it's at now.
It's from what I've been seeing right now, it's pretty solid looking. It looks more like they bolstered up. It's like a steroided out WoW.
But is it still like a command thing where you have a character and you have keys essentially that do different attacks, and you select the X button does his special.
It does light attack. Y is like your special. B is something else or something.
Well, I mean, if it's a hack and slash game where like you have combos and stuff like that, cool. But if it's like you have to refresh your cooldown for a sword swing every 3 seconds, like WoW does, no, I'm good. So
I have to watch some more gameplay and see. Your number 5.
it was Call of Duty Infinite. So I think the only reason why I was kind of interested in it is because I was getting tired of Call of Duty being, a Modern Warfare rinse and repeat game.
Yeah.
And I always liked story, and I was like, okay, cool, we're doing COD.
In like space.
Yeah, let's see where like the
Space
future goes, and like unrestrained imagination and whatnot. And it had Kit Harington in it.
As a bad guy.
some solid actors and stuff like that.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And no, it was pretty bad.
That's actually the first Call of Duty out of the ones before that I didn't finish the story, and since then I just have not cared.
I
to finish
didn't
the
buy
campaign.
it. That was one of the few Call of Duties I did not play. I didn't buy it.
Yeah,
I don't think I've done the campaign all the way through since that one
yeah.
on any
I
other
think-
Call of Duty.
I think that's argued to be like the worst one.
Yeah.
So and it makes sense because it was bananas.
It was bad.
They were trying to compete with. It felt like they were trying to push a Halo vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think they were trying to push with that, but I was also thinking around the time of Black Ops 4
I don't know.
because that would have been what Infinity Ward against Treyarch.
I think Black Ops 4 is where they started having like specialty like characters had special abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
there was all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah. So all right, Mitch.
My number 5 was Cyberpunk.
Oh,
So
Mine was Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty.
yeah, I did not like that one.
I did not like that
Where you
one.
get the mech suit.
I had
thing.
that game for a week, and I beat the campaign in 2 days, like while I was in college. And I was like, I didn't really enjoy that. And then I started playing the multiplayer and grinding through it, and I was like, the jumping mechanics sucked. The whole like mech suit nonsense and the guns weren't cool. Like they didn't feel good.
It's
It didn't
basically where you
play
look like
well.
Edge of Tomorrow running and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
It's
Yeah.
funny that like a bunch of people broke off from the developer and made Titanfall, and
Uh-huh.
they did a way better game.
Well, yeah.
But that, just going into Call of Duty, I've always wanted to be the more realistic. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's not real because you shoot him 6 times and he didn't die." I wanted the more realistic shooter, boots on the ground, just running, gunning,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Not shooting lasers, jumping above the building and grappling from here to there and all that stuff. So
Yeah. All right, my number 4 was Aliens: Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
So
Did we play that together?
no, it was a complete like they got sued and actually lost. It's the only game I can think of.
I was thinking of Fire Team. That's the one.
No, yeah, we played Fireteam.
It was the only one that I could think of that lost a false advertisement lawsuit because they showcased so much in the trailer that you couldn't do. A lot of it was hidden behind cutscenes and stuff like that. Like, they showed them your players running around with flamethrowers. There's no flamethrowers. And it was just a very like cookie cutter, plain third person shooter. Run around shooting aliens and like there was just getting from point A to point B. There was no advancement, no nothing. It just flopped horribly on its face.
I can see that.
And the hype behind it was huge, but unfortunately it didn't. It was a Sega game too.
That makes sense.
That sounds about right.
So,
Alien has not had a good run of luck
No,
in the
the-
video game department.
Isolation was probably its most successful game ever. But there are people who want that Colonial Marine kind of vibe, and they just can't crank out something good enough. I don't understand. Like, the hype is there. That's enough proof in the pudding to try and make a good game like that. But
Yeah. The Fire Team that they came out with last year was
Yeah,
it was
okay.
interesting.
It was
it got pretty old.
yeah, it was repetitive, but it was interesting. It was fun for a little while.
yeah.
The first 2 hours were pretty enjoyable. Hour 3 was like, all right, I don't want to play this. Can we just play COD?
Yeah. What was your number 5?
What was your number 5?
Cyberpunk.
Oh. My number 5, no, we're on number 4.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, 4. My number 4 was Halo Infinite.
All right.
Ah, what was your number 4?
Halo, no, mine was Call of Duty Vanguard.
Oh,
Yeah.
The campaign.
We both told you don't buy that game.
I did anyway. I pulled a Hayden. It was like Cyberpunk for me.
You're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's World War. Well,
That game caused so much issue, especially when they did the integration with Warzone.
yeah.
it's screwed up Warzone.
The campaign was not good. It was all over the place. It didn't know what it was trying to do with certain things. The TTK became non-existent. It was literally just,
Yeah.
and you shot 30 rounds and killed them on a gun with no recoil.
With
Then they integrated that in the Warzone, and every Vanguard gun was like the best guns in the game.
But World War II era guns are better than modern.
yeah.
With suppressors and like
Yeah.
optics with reticles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb. And the worst part is that people knew it was going to be bad,
Uh-huh.
And we played it anyway.
but like they still were counting on like that happened. And they integrated it so bad into Warzone, making people like, you want to be good at Warzone, you got to buy a crappy game.
Yeah.
Just so you could use those guns in multiplayer and have them and level them up.
I don't.
The only thing I liked about Vanguard was they refined the movement to the best it had been.
Yeah.
You guys were not the slide canceling
No.
lunatics
Because
that I was,
Because that takes away from the realism.
because
that
I was a sweat.
talking about the realism.
I was in it to win it.
It was all dumb.
Yeah.
So, and I honestly am really just like over Modern Warfare as a whole because they just get stupider and stupider and try and find ways to make more money out of you. So I'm grateful they're taking 2 years to work on games instead of just cranking one.
No,
movie.
they have this one coming out this year.
Yeah,
Really?
Modern
they
Warfare
haven't.
3.
Yeah, they haven't announced. I don't think have they done an official announcement.
I'm pretty sure they did.
They
I
haven't-
may be wrong.
They haven't shown any gameplay or anything. There's been nothing
I did see something where they said there was going to be a Modern Warfare 3, but maybe I'm wrong.
because they said that wasn't going to be another one.
Yeah,
They
I
were
know-
going to go to 2 years.
I know they said there was going to be
And
2
they
years,
lied.
But then they talked about there was going to be something coming out this year.
Unless
But,
they're going to do a new Warzone map.
I don't think it was Warzone. I think it was something with Call of Duty.
Because Warzone 2 map stuff has been pretty,
Yeah.
on the spot as far as content release. I mean, Ashika Island, I didn't really care for it. It wasn't my style.
Yeah, the Vondel map is pretty cool.
I like the Vondel map. The more I play it, the more I find like little bits, and I'm like, this is it's kind of Verdansk-esque,
yeah,
just because like the city stuff and like your more urban environment.
you get some verticality and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
which is better than just running across a mountain range.
Run across a desert where there's like quick hide in the one bush.
According to GamesIndustry.biz, 2023 will reportedly see another Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So,
Dot
.biz. Activision Blizzard, which, by the way,
Yeah,
the buyout is going through now. That
Yeah.
happened a lot faster than I thought it would.
well,
Money.
because they knew it was dumb. The judges were like, you can't stop them from having exclusives when you
have
expressly
more
have
exclusives than anybody else.
Right.
And Nintendo just sits there with their exclusives, like, don't say anything. Don't move. Their visions are motion based. They can only see in 380p.
What number are we on?
3.
Okay, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that was a huge bust.
It is better now, though.
It's way better.
It's better now, but it's taken, 10 years?
Something like that.
I don't know. It's been a while.
Maybe 8.
So,
Because that game was billed as
and the only reason why
epic space exploration.
I give it, props is because a lot of their updates, which are like basically just DLCs, they did it for free,
Yeah.
essentially to try and like give back to their audience that bought into that lie.
I do like that they did that.
Yeah. So that was pretty
When
cool.
a company actually listens to their consumer base.
Yeah, and they could have charged $10 for each DLC. No, it's all free. I think the newest one came out earlier this year, and it's still free. So,
Okay.
I still don't like the game, though.
it's kind of monotonous and repetitive, but I couldn't imagine playing when it first came out. So, Mitch.
My number 3 is Anthem. I was excited for that game.
That was like the Iron Man Battle Royale
Yeah.
Halo game we always wanted.
Well, it looked like a 4-player Iron Man game where you go through and it had realistic graphics and you could play and all that. And
Morphed up mech suits flying around.
I mean, it didn't do well. I don't know what caused it to be so bad, because I played it not too long before they kind of like started to shut it down. I played it. It was fun for a little while, but it just got so repetitive, kind of like Destiny, where you just go do this mission, come back, go do this mission, come back, and you just do the same thing. But it was fun for a little while because there was like 4 different classes of types of mech suits you could have, and the graphics were really good. But yeah, there's just not a whole lot to it. And unfortunately, I don't even know. Is it running at all anymore? Or is it completely shut down?
I'm pretty sure it's done.
Is it off
Okay.
Game Pass? Because it was on there for a while.
Well, because it's part of, was it EA or Ubisoft?
No, BioWare.
Was that BioWare?
Yeah, it was BioWare.
But it comes, like you can play it under either EA or Ubisoft, something like that.
Maybe, but
I don't know, because I had it, I only played it because it was free, so.
pretty sure it's off.
Yeah.
Like no more servers. So, and then BioWare is committed to making like single player games again. Like they're going back to Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
So
What was your number 3?
My number 3 was Battlefield 5. That was the World War II one.
Oh, okay.
After they did Battlefield 1. Because they went from Battlefield 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
1, 5.
Yeah.
2042. Like, they're just all over the place.
They're trying to count.
Battlefield 1, one of the best multiplayer games I've ever played.
Yeah.
First person shooter.
That one was fun.
Great game. Battlefield 5, not so much.
yeah, when they had the
It got better over time
when they had the African lady with the robot arm playing, sniping people
in like World
II,
War II.
I was like, this is not historical.
I was like, this doesn't. I'm not buying this one yet. Graphics were not an upgrade from Battlefield 1's. Battlefield 1 was like cutting edge at the time, and it still looks and holds up pretty decent because we played not that long ago.
Okay.
But Battlefield 5 was just, it was rough. It was not good.
No,
And then like the wacky weapon stuff you could do
I don't know. I never played it.
wasn't great because like Battlefield 1, you got the weapon, like that was pretty much it. You could paint it.
Oh,
Or like you had like a skin or something, but it was
you
like
get different sites.
yeah, you can get like different like fixed irons.
Yeah.
So
And there was like some scope stuff, but that was for like sniper rifles.
Battlefield 1 pushed like the level of realism as far as they could go, because
A lot of those weapons were prototypes.
right, and then like they didn't have them everywhere,
Like like it was when it first released, they had like the best AR in the game.
Really?
AR, but it was a drum mag fed, and it had like water cooled,
right,
like barrel like thing.
and the
shroud.
capability of those tanks were just like over the top for that time period, like going 80 miles an hour.
But you couldn't run through on a horse with a sword
yeah, and you're invincible.
Yeah, it was really hard to get killed off the
because
horse.
you couldn't be hit. It was like the
You were
movement.
moving too quickly.
Number 2, mine was Fable 3. I loved the Fable, the first one. The second one was like kind of like a weird, kind of divergence from the first one, but it was still kind of had that core, that feel.
Yeah.
And then the third one, they advertised it like they were bringing it back, and it was just the
Wrong.
goofiest. Basically, the point of the game was you make as much money as you can to stave off the end of the world. So it was like a finance game. It was like you're like trying to
Make money.
market stuff and whatnot. It was just all over the place. And then that's like that happens like 2/3 through the game. Like the game doesn't end at that point. You just kind of keep playing, and then it just kind of fizzles out at the end. You're like, what happened here? Like, did they just like fire their writers like halfway through the production? It was a goofy game, and the producer's name was Peter Molyneux. And that dude was a con man, essentially. He lied a lot about what a game was doing. So, yeah, there you go.
My number 2 was Battlefield 2042. I bought that game. I pre-ordered that game.
That's my number 1.
I bought that, pre-ordered it, played maybe 2 games, and deleted it.
Those trailers were epic.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be amazing, and then I was like, Battlefield 5.
I've heard that it's better now,
I've heard it's really good now.
but I
Or
can't.
I've heard, it's a lot better.
I can't bring myself to re-download it and try it.
I just
No.
like the
I'm
idea
so pissed off.
of their battle royale, and then like it was just unplayable
Yeah.
apparently. So
Yeah, they had a really cool, because there was like a whole weather system, like
Uh-huh.
tornadoes and stuff. You had to have like flight suits
They had their own extraction
style.
version, and
Yeah.
it's
They had potential to knock Warzone.
and it was like I remember seeing those boats like flying up sides of buildings, like
Uh-huh.
driving up them, and like the physics were broken.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no point in that game. Just
actually, if you were going fast enough and hit it with the 4-wheeler, you could drive the 4-wheeler up the side
Oh
of
my
buildings.
Yeah.
all right. What was your number 2?
My number 2 was Fallout 76.
Okay. My number 1 was Battlefield 42. So what was yours, Mitch?
My number 1 was Marvel Avengers.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to a superhero game that was multiplayer, and they just kind of bit the dirt,
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they haven't cashed in on like a AAA like contending
Yeah.
superhero game. There's what was it, Ultimate Alliance? Remember that
Yeah.
game? That was a good game.
Superhero games traditionally never do that great.
Well, I mean, now's the time while it's still $1 billion industry, but whatever.
Pump out some games, at least let them see. But
Mitch is like, more Ninja Turtles.
Something.
well, they do have the Last Ronin supposedly coming out.
More Batman.
I don't know if that's true or not, is it?
Yeah. There's a Last Ronin game. It's gonna be like God of War style.
Oh, okay.
But who knows if it'll continue to be made? But there is supposedly that they're working on it.
Tom, which Call of Duty is your number 1?
Well, my number 1 was Cyberpunk 2077.
Was it? All right. All right. There you go. That's our top 10 list of games that busted.
Burst.
Boosted.
They boosted.
Copyright. Cease and desist order.
Prove it. See, it's not the whole song. It's a different song.
It's a mashup. It's a sample. It's different.
All right. We are doing Jeopardy,
This is Jeopardy.
and the categories are Lord of the Rings, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Top Gear,
Ooh.
Star Wars,
Ooh.
Zelda,
Uh.
and Random.
Huh.
All right. And Random still involves movies.
Okay.
So,
A question, so if I went for a 5-point question, got it wrong, he gets a chance, right?
yeah, you get one chance each. Okay?
Because if so, I'm be like Lord of the Rings 5, and then all that question's gone for Tom.
Yeah, one chance each. Okay?
You need something to write
No,
scores on?
I got things. I'm going to put your names in here.
Do we got to buzz in?
No.
Okay.
Well, for the first one, let's go ahead and buzz in.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Let me ask a question, okay?
What number am I thinking of?
What's in my pocket?
What am I thinking of?
How many times have I urinated
If
today?
you can guess within 50 million, how many copies of Tears of the Kingdom sold? Just push yours again. All right, go ahead, Mitch.
120.
No.
120 million was mine.
If you go higher, or higher or lower, depending on where the answer is.
And it's within 50 million.
50 million.
How many copies they've sold?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 300 million.
It's 240 right now, I think. So you get it, Tom.
Yay.
All right, Tom, pick your category.
Lord of the Rings for 1.
Lord of the Rings for 1. Who forged the One Ring?
Who is Sauron?
Yes.
Do we have to answer in a question?
I don't care.
It's tradition. It's Jeopardy style. I will observe that.
All right, it's not letting me edit this spreadsheet, so yeah, give me one. That's good.
Make sure you write like the actual point total.
Okay.
Then you're just going to start putting hash marks.
All right. How am I going to track this?
See, if you had printed it out and you had highlighters like Mitch did.
I just assumed I could edit it, but apparently not.
That's what you sent me.
All right. Let's move on to your next question. What is it?
I'll go Lord of the Rings for 2.
All right. What is the river that runs through the mines of Moria?
Ooh, that was a good one. What is the Anduin?
No.
Okay, I knew that was going to be wrong.
Mitch?
The River Kwai. I have no idea.
The answer is Siranon. So
I probably knew
no
that
points
at some-
for that one.
I still have control of the board.
You do?
Lord of the Rings for 3.
Okay.
Y'all are so boring. Y'all straight down a column.
Who is the oldest character in The Lord of the Rings?
Who is Tom Bombadil?
Yes.
I actually knew that one. I was hoping you would forget.
Fool! Fool of a McGee.
All right.
Go Lord of the Rings for 4. Finish out my category before Mitch beats my butt.
Who becomes the king of Gondor at the end of the series?
Who is Aragorn?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tom.
Lord of the Rings for 5.
The names of the 3 elven rings of power are?
Narya, Nenya, and Vilya.
Yes, Tom.
Did you know that?
No.
I know.
All right. Next question.
Top Gear for 1.
Okay.
On tonight's program.
The racetrack used by the hosts before it was renamed to Eboladrome was called what?
Was this from Grand Tour or from Top Gear?
Top Gear.
Was it Top Gear test track?
Nope.
Or is it like the name of the actual?
Yeah, that's what was it named? Mitch? Going once? Going twice?
The speed track. I don't know.
It was called the Hammerhead.
Okay.
No, the Hammerhead was a turn.
I don't know.
All right.
I object to that question.
Whatever. What's your next question?
Go Top Gear 2.
Okay. The presenter who holds the record for the fastest celebrity lap on the Top Gear track is?
Who is Rowan Atkinson?
Wrong. Mitch?
Simon Cowell.
Wrong. It was Lewis Hamilton.
I was just trying to think of somebody that I knew to
No,
drive.
the F1 drivers were in a separate category.
He just said that. Well, yeah, he just said celebrity. I don't know.
I don't know. I got it. All right, Tom.
Top Gear, wrong questions for 3.
The Top Gear test track is located in what city in England?
Oh, it sounds like Herefordshire?
No.
Bainbridge.
No.
I don't know.
Dunsford.
Oh, Dunsford.
Yeah. All right.
I thought it was Dunsfold.
Dunsfold, Surrey. So, all right. Tom.
Give me, what were we at? Top Gear was number 4.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me miscellaneous 1. Let's
Okay.
find out what's over there. Let's mix it up.
All right. Emma Stone won the Academy Award for Best Actress in a Role for this film.
Beauty and the Beast?
Wrong.
Stone.
I'm not. You're thinking.
Oh, I thought Emma Watson.
La La Land.
Yes, Mitch, for 1 point and taking control.
That's the only thing I can think of that she might have won an Academy for.
I was going to say Spider-Man 2.
All right, Mitch.
Ninja Turtles #1. 1 point.
All right.
Here we go. I hope
I got to catch up my points somewhere.
I hope these questions are wrong, like all the.
What does Leonardo wield?
Katana.
Dual katanas. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
What is dual?
Yeah.
Katanas.
The primary antagonist in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe is.
The Shredder.
This says Krang, but I think you're right. It is Shredder.
What? Yeah, it is Shredder.
I
Krang works with him.
I agree. It's Shredder.
All right. Who is the only human ally in News Reporter in the series?
April.
Yes. So now you're at 3.
#4.
All right. And, okay. Who was attacked by the Foot Clan and left wounded on a rooftop?
Raphael.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And
Yes, #5.
So boring, Mitch. Just go through the whole category.
I gotta get my points.
which character is known for her yellow jumpsuit?
April O'Neil.
Yes.
His were a lot easier.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. That's just the world they live in.
All right. It's currently 13 to 16. Mitch is winning.
Wow.
What are other categories?
You have Lord of the Rings, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Top Gear, Star Wars, Zelda, and random. Top Gear in Lord of the Rings is tapped out.
Miscellaneous.
All right, miscellaneous.
No, Top Gear shouldn't be. Ninja Turtles and Lord of the Rings should be tapped out.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
We've done miscellaneous 1. You have 2 through
All
5
right.
left.
#5.
All right. What is the highest grossing animated film?
What's the most recent one that came out?
Of all time.
Of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Beauty and the Beast.
No.
Of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to think. Beauty and the Beast has been re-released a couple of times. So
One single film that's been released.
Is this like a recent? All right. Well. Moana?
No. The answer is Frozen.
Oh.
Well, that makes
I
sense.
forgot about Frozen.
All right, back to Mitch.
#4. Point 4.
The iconic line, "Here's Johnny," is from which movie?
The Shining.
Yes, Mitch.
I was going to say, technically it's from the Johnny Carson show.
Said movie. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Miscellaneous for 3.
The Matrix was directed by whom?
What was their name?
If you give me just the last name, I'll give it to you.
Crap. It was the Wachowski brothers. I don't know. Something brothers.
It was,
I don't remember.
The Wachowski sisters?
well,
Because they changed
it's
up.
pronounced Wachowski.
Wachowski.
Oh,
I
come
didn't know if there was a ch
Yeah.
hidden in there.
All right. And it was originally the brothers that are now the sisters. So we'll just call that a wash. And then go back to Mitch.
They were the brothers at the time. All right. Miscellaneous point, or #2.
Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio won his first Academy Award for Best Actor in this movie.
The Revenant?
Yes, Mitch.
God. This really sucks because once you get on a roll, there's just nothing you could do.
Yeah, how do you think I like the first, 6 questions just sitting here waiting?
All right. Random movie is tapped out. What would you like now?
Top Gear for, what's left on Top Gear?
Okay. The blank used in Top Gear's Celebrity Lap Times segment was created by Vauxhall. Vaxhall. Vauxhall.
I'm waiting for the question here.
The blank. What is the blank?
Oh. Don't know.
Can you just, are you secede to me?
Yeah.
Okay, can you reread that?
The blank used in Top Gear's Celebrity Lap Times segment was created by Vauxhall.
Vauxhall?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
Oh, the reasonably priced car?
Yes, Tom.
Oh, I thought you were looking for like an actual name of the car.
Because it's a Vauxhall Astra diesel.
Well, that's what, I thought you were looking for like the Astro Diesel or whatever. I didn't know you were looking for the reasonably priced car part.
Tom, you have control of the game.
Star Wars
For
5.
all right. What is the name of the stormtrooper who defects to join the Resistance in Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
Finn.
Yes.
Do you know his stormtrooper number?
Isn't he like FN 002
I
something?
don't know.
All right, Tom, you're up.
Star Wars for 4.
The bounty hunter who captured Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back is.
Boba Fett.
Yes.
You didn't really gauge the toughness of these questions, did you?
No, Chat GPT did not. I just said because like the original series of questions was pretty easy, and I was like bump it up by 25%, and I kept going until I couldn't see a question that I didn't recognize, and I was like, yeah, it's good enough. All right, Tom.
Star Wars for 3.
The homeworld of Chewbacca's species is.
Kashyyyk.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
I've known all these questions so far.
Tom.
Hey, Star Wars for 2.
Who played Emperor Palpatine in the original Star Wars trilogy?
Ian McDermott.
Yes.
I did not know that one.
He
That
also
would have been a 5-point question.
that should have been a 5-point question because Ian McDermott plays the Emperor in the prequels and the sequels. He's in all 3 trilogies.
All right.
Star Wars for 1.
Okay. Who is the Sith Lord who's central character in the Star Wars prequel trilogy? It's kind of a loaded question. I'm going to say the Phantom Menace.
Well, if you're saying just for the Phantom Menace, Darth Maul.
Yes.
No,
Sometimes.
'cause I don't think they say Darth Sidious
No.
in that one. I
I
don't
have
think they
no
say it
way to
until the
catch up when I don't get a chance to answer.
Doesn't it suck, Mitch?
Yes, it does.
All right. Star Wars is tapped out. Top Gear's tapped out. Lord of the Rings. So you got Zelda left.
All right, let's go Zelda for 1.
Yeah. All right. Zelda for 1. Who is the villain often portrayed as the primary antagonist in The Legend of Zelda?
Ganondorf.
Yes.
Man, I can't catch you at this point.
That's the point, Mitch.
Would you like to
Zelda for 2.
The mythical creature that serves as Link's companion, who's a fairy in Ocarina of Time.
Tinkerbell.
No. Mitch?
Zelda.
I don't know the fairy's name.
I don't know anything about.
Fairy's
Yes.
name is Navi.
Oh. All right. Well, Zelda for 3.
I don't know anything about Zelda.
Me either.
I knew Ganondorf. That was it.
The fact I got one right, that was the one I knew.
Who is the princess of Hyrule?
Zelda.
Yes.
Woo! Guess who's watching Sharknado 5?
Feeding them to Tom. Feed him the questions.
We'll just continue with 4.
Okay. What was the first game which the Master Sword was introduced?
Ocarina's Mask?
No.
Oh, no, it's not. Majora's Mask.
No.
That's your second question.
No.
The original Zelda game.
No. A Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo game.
Oh.
All right. And finally, 5. In Ocarina of Time, what is the name of the location where Link begins his journey?
Brooklyn.
No.
Hyrule.
No.
I don't know.
The Kokiri Forest.
Huh.
All right. Mitch has 5,
Tom
10,
won.
15, 20, 22. And Tom has 5, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20, 30, and 36. Tom wins.
Yeah, of course Tom wins.
Yeah, Tom wins.
Good job, Tom. What is he being punished with?
Let's see. I was going to say Sharknado 5,
You're going
but
to make him go backwards?
in time, like that movie.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
That's our punishment for our Thursday episode. If you want to tune in then, I have to review Sharknado 6. It's all about time. Or I think it's actually called It's About Time, like as in the series.
It's literally called It's About Time.
As in the series is ending.
I wish that series would end.
I think it has ended. They haven't had a movie come out in like 8 years or something. 8 years or something.
Have we done House Shark?
I don't know.
House Shark.
Okay.
Was it like getting a house with them?
Oh, no, it's a shark eating a house. It's huge.
That's a big old shark.
What was this? A dangerous but largely unknown shark attacks Frank's family home. When he tries to kill the beast, he reaches out to the world's only home shark expert and former real estate agent, Zachary.
Zachary. It sounds like a Zachary. All right. Well, Mitch is angry because he lost in trivia. He feels like he got gypped.
Now I understand why Jeopardy is not a good way to do our trivia.
Well, it's because they buzz in for the questions.
They did for every question?
Yeah. Have you never watched Jeopardy?
It's been a minute. I thought that they answer and they keep answering until they're wrong.
No, you have control of the board. If you get it right, you still get to choose the category and the amount. But if they don't, but you buzz in, they answer the questions.
Let's do it again.
After I know all the answers.
All right, that's it for this Monday episode. Tune in Thursday for our news and reviews. Goodbye from Mitch.
Bye.
Goodbye from Tam.
Bye, Tam.
Goodbye from me. Hey, goodbye.
I immediately turn my headset off. It's just like.
Thank you for listening.